What's going on, fam? It's the entertainer, the motivator, the educator, Lucky Murray, back with another Gamecock news update. And before I start, no, I would not grow a beard because I don't look like James Harden. It's a guy here that says I look like James Harden. I don't understand. But if you like what you see, man, please hit the subscribe button, also notification bell. Notification bell let you know that every time I drop a video. So let's get into this, man. Shane Beamer was speaking with the three-man front radio show, and he spoke about the Carolina evolving offense. I reported a few weeks ago that Shane Beamer is trying to install the Gamecock offense. Now today, he speaks about how the offense is going to shape and how it's going to have many different forms depending on the personnel. So here's what I need you to do. Listen to the clip. It's about 2 minutes long. So I'm going to come back and give you my thoughts on what Shane Beamer said. So let's listen to this right quick.
You mentioned offensive system. For those who may not necessarily be aware, I'm not sure anybody has a really good feel. How would you describe what your offensive scheme will look like this season?
Yeah, it's one thing that came up in the interview, and to sit here and say that we're going to be this or we're going to be that, to me, whether you're coaching high school, college, pro, you better have a system that is multiple enough to adjust with the personnel that you have each and every season. And I'm not dumb. I mean, I watched South Carolina play last year, and the season on the field didn't go the way they wanted, but still had a 1,000-yard rusher, and the majority of the offensive line coming back with an athletic quarterback that finished the season in Luke Doty. So being able to just take what you do best, what best fits our personnel, and then that's our offense. So to answer your question, I just believe every single year you've got to be an offense that protects the football. You've got to have an offense that has the ability to run and throw. And then you've got to be able to create explosive plays in the passing game and in the run game nowadays, and that's football in general. And I use the example of when I was at Oklahoma. Our 2018 offense with Kyler Murray was a lot different than the 2019 offense with Jalen Hurts. And the 2020 offense at Oklahoma with Spencer Rattler was different than it was with Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray. I mean, every systems or every year is different. Every quarterback is different. The personnel around those quarterbacks. I mean, you guys have watched Oklahoma enough, and y'all know football. I mean, 2018, very rarely did we have two tight ends on the field at the same time at Oklahoma. 2020 at Oklahoma, that's about all we did was two tight ends. So I think just, finding your personnel, and then at the end of the day, getting the ball to your playmakers. And I hired an offensive coordinator that I'd known for 20 years, that had been a coordinator before, and spent last season with the Carolina Panthers and Joe Brady and that LSU offense from 2019, and then being able to marry some of those concepts with what we did at Oklahoma that worked for us, and then other places that our staff has been. And I'm excited to get out to the practice field to start spring practice here in about a month and see where we are.
So coming back from that, we heard a few things. One, you got to love the fact that Shane Beamer is not making a cookie-cutter offense or a one-size-fits-all offense, because he realizes that it really depends on the personnel that you have on the field. Some years you would do something different, some years you won't, based off the scheme and based off the personnel that you have. And one thing I love that he said that at Oklahoma, it was different when Kyler Murray ran it, when Justin Fields was there, totally two different things than Jalen Hurts. It was also different as far as tight ends. If they were strong at tight ends, they used two set tight ends. If they wasn't, they hardly used any tight ends. If they had a strong backfield, they used two back sets. So I believe that what Shane Beamer is doing is, recruits are listening to this. These radio shows in different cities, Shane Beamer has always have to be on. So when he's speaking to the future recruit that wants to come to the University of South Carolina. He can't just say, well, this is our offense and we're sticking to it, because a lot of times coaches pigeonhole themselves when they have a system and then they have a great player that comes into the system that don't quite fit the system. So the player sticks out like a sore thumb. Is that player bad? Absolutely not. It's just the fact that he does not fit the coach's system. So when it comes to watching and hearing this, I'm excited for a few reasons. I want to see Dakereon Joyner get more of the rock. I think he's a phenomenal player. He has amazing speed. I think that he can be like a Deebo Samuel almost. I mean, he can run wildcat quarterback. He can actually run quarterback for you. He can run receiver, and he can also take snaps out the backfield. I think that we should, this year, he was a Mr. Football, South Carolina, for a particular reason. He should get the ball. Luke Doty, to me, is probably going to start. I've been hearing a lot of great things out of the camp of the South Carolina football team and the coaches. They're liking what they've seen with Luke Doty, but I am very curious to see what Jason Brown can do, but that's going to be interesting. We have a wide receiver core, Trey Smith. Remember him? He was injured. He was a 4-star recruit out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. He's coming back. So we have a lot of wide receivers that can fill the void. There's so many potential things that can happen at South Carolina. And the fact that Shane Beamer is not approaching this like, hey, look, this is what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. He's actually saying, look here, we're going to see our personnel and we're going to go from there. It's a great sign from things to come at South Carolina. But here's what I need you to do. I need you to comment in the comment section below. What do you think about what Shane Beamer said as far as our offense? How do you think that it's going to shape out in 2021? And are you excited about the spring game? I know Carolina fans are excited about it. Some fans are optimistic, some are pessimistic. I believe in all of hearts that we are going to a lower tier bowl. We're a 6 or 7 win team. If we overachieve, maybe 8. And I think that this is going to be a ball that's going to continue to roll at South Carolina. All it takes is one season of success, and you're going to see it's going to equate to recruiting. It's going to equate to the morale of the program. And you know the Gamecock Nation is always there supporting. No matter if we're losing or winning, we're always there. So again, it's the entertainer, the motivator, the educator, and please don't forget all 3. Lucky Murray back with another Gamecock news update. And yes, Shane Beamer is still putting together an offense, but I love what he says. Let me know if you love it as well in the comment section below. But until next time, people.